Well, if he broke his wrist, he broke his wrist. But if you expect me to rate Burns much after that performance, you've got another fucking thing coming. Gonzalez won the first 7 rounds of a 12-round fight. He blew his wad in the 7th round, as D-Style put it, breaking his wrist on Ricky Burns' face. The 8th, he didn't do shit. The 9th, he didn't do shit, and then he quit before the 10th started. Ricky Burns needs to consider himself lucky that Gonzalez didn't want to just try and survive to the 12th, because he still would have won the fucking fight as long as he didn't get knocked down or knocked out. So, I mean, to me, this just finally solidifies my opinion that Broner didn't even need to fight Burns in the first place. The only reason I wanted to see the fight is because so many people were talking shit that Burns could handle Broner. Obviously, that's not the fucking case. Gonzalez wasn't even faster than Burns. He was a better boxer. He was good at countering. There wasn't anything Burns could do that Gonzalez couldn't counter or dodge or react to well. And yeah, he quit. Is it a disappointment? Yeah, it's a disappointment, because I really honestly believe that as long as he could have stayed on his feet the rest of the fight, he would have won the fight. So, I don't know. I can't talk shit, though, because if his wrist is fucking broken, that shit fucking hurts, and he's got the fucking gloves and tape and all that shit, and I'm sure it's swelling inside with the tape wrapped around it. I can't imagine how painful that fucking is. So, no, I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to sit here and hate on Gonzalez for quitting. that would just be fucking ridiculous. But Burns, though, I'm gonna do a lot of hating on Burns, dude. Come on, bro. Come on. And I think a lot of people knew that this was going to be a decent fight, but to have that much trouble with Gonzalez, and it's not as if I think Gonzalez was going to go on to dominate this fucking division. We'll see. He's got good slick moves, good defense, good counterpunching, but I don't know. He lunged a lot. He started throwing a lot of power shots without setting it up with anything, and against another counterpuncher, that shit would not go over well. Against another counterpuncher with power, somebody could have probably put Gonzalez on his ass before 6 rounds were up. But Burns couldn't do it. Burns spent the first 4 rounds just trying to find a range. And then the next fucking three, he found out that just because he found the range didn't mean that he was going to have success with the range. He found the range for his punches. But Gonzalez would do like a little move like this. The straight right from Burns would go right by him, and he'd throw a little left hook counter in there for good measure. It was a pretty decent performance by Gonzalez up until the 8th round, when, like I said, he blew his wad in the 7th. I mean, I guess he thought he had Burns hurt and was really, really trying to get Burns out of there. But to me, it didn't look like Burns was all that hurt. And it was just unfortunate to watch him go after Burns when I don't think Burns was in any real trouble that round of getting KO'd, because Burns was still throwing big shit back. So he kind of gave Burns an out by giving up all of his energy in 1 round. But that's the way it goes. Burns gets another win. Burns stays undefeated. But how the fuck can you rate Burns now? How do you rate Burns now? And I know some of you UK guys, you're fans of Burns. Some of you, though, are real fucking honest about your fighters. Some of you guys are more critical of UK fighters than even people from outside of the UK. So let me know what y'all think, because I'm not thinking much of Burns right now. I'm not thinking much of this victory. I don't think there's much room or much cause for celebration with him, unless he's just thankful that fucking Gonzalez quit, because if he hadn't, Burns would have been in trouble losing. Deuces.